Greetings. Today I have read something quite interesting in the news and I wanted to share with you all. Actually, there is a gentleman named Mr. Kirankumar Rathod. He's from India and he's taken his ex-employer to employment tribunal. So an employment tribunal is a place where they can settle disputes between an employee and their employer. So it's not as formal as court, but the decisions that the judge will make there are legally binding. So this gentleman, Mr. Kirankumar Rathod, he is from India. While in India, he paid a recruitment agent £22,000 to find him full-time work in the UK. So this would have come under the care workers skilled worker visa for carers, right? So he paid the recruitment agent £22,000 to help him find work in the UK and to get the skilled worker visa to come over and work. Once he paid that amount of money, he was recruited by Clinica Private Healthcare. Once he arrived in the UK, he wasn't given any shifts, he wasn't given any work, and so obviously because he has no recourse to public funds, what can he do? He also had his family and he wasn't able to provide for them. He raised these concerns with his employer and his employer didn't take it on board. I think he raised it a few more times because after a few months he wasn't given any work. There was a lack of work with the company, Clinica Private Healthcare. And so they terminated his contracts, basically. They sacked him. And once they terminated his contract, they gave the reason as insubordination. Like, they just gave a reason that he knew wasn't really the reason. Also, an important fact is that when he was querying the lack of work, he was also querying on behalf of his colleagues because they were all in the same position. Anyway, once they terminated his contract, I believe he approached the Workers' Rights Centre and he was represented by Sarmila Bose. Sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong, by the way, but he was represented by Sarmila Bose, and she took his case to the employment tribunal, and it hasn't been heard in full yet. It's an unfair dismissal claim. However, what's quite unusual is that the sitting judge, Natasha Jeffoy, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but the sitting judge has decided that until the hearing is heard in full, the employer needs to pay him unpaid wages up to £17,000, as well as they need to continue paying him his salary for the duration of the hearing. And this is a really unusual move, that you're awarded the basic award before the hearing's done. So it definitely looks like he's going to win. Hopefully once he wins, it will hopefully encourage other people in the same situation to take their ex-employees to court, to employment tribunal. I'll leave an explanation up here of what an employment tribunal is. I'll also leave the number for ACAS, which are able to give advice on such matters. The government, the Labour government, allegedly are planning on doing a big investigation on people that have been scammed and are basically, without work in this country and without access to any funds to support themselves and their family. Also, the head of RCN also made a comment that hopefully this means that more people will come forward. But if you are able to have access to this case, I do recommend that you try and keep up with it and see what happens, because it will definitely have repercussions for other people in the similar position. What I will say is, Mr. Kirankumar Rathod, well done. You've been really courageous in standing up to your employers and taking them to an employment tribunal. This is perfect, because that was unfair dismissal. Just because you're saying that there's no work, you don't have any access to finances, how come there's no work? I've paid a recruitment agent £22,000 and I haven't been able to work since I've been here. That's very courageous of him. And allegedly, I'm not sure, but apparently the company Clinica Private Healthcare, they've lost their license to work as a care company. Apparently, I think they've lost their license. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's going through the court now, and as I said, it's very unusual for the sitting judge to actually say, you need to pay the basic award now before we've even finished, and you need to restart the salary of every week until this hearing is done. But yeah, so if you know anybody in this position, let them know what's happening. Try and keep up with the information in the news, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Say it's true. There's nothing